So I got a scratch on the truck right there. It's pretty bad. Actually went through the clear coat. There's also a bunch of scratches down here, and that's from me carrying my Neo clip right here. So every time I would get out of the car, I would scratch on this. So that's how I got it. It's pretty bad. So I'm gonna try to fix it. So I picked up the touch-up paint from Ford. This is the color code is JX. If you look on the side, you see exterior paint JX. So got the right color. So this paint pen does come with this end here, and that helps you sand down some like rust or anything that has accumulated over time in some deeper scratches on metal. So you can use that to take that rust off. It's also a pen, so you take this off, you get a pretty much, it's like a pen. You squish the top there and then paint will come out. You got to make sure to shake this though. And then also you get like a nail polish type of thing. So you unscrew this, you see that stick there, very similar to the nail polish bottles. And then you also get a clear coat. So down here you unscrew this one and you have some clear coat that would go on top of the paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fill in that paint or that scratch with paint pretty thick, and I am going to try wet sanding it and then smoothing everything out. And then I'm going to use this Meguiar swirl remover to get it a little bit more shiny and get rid of that haze that I'm going to have after wet sanding. So I am going to take some clear coat off, but not too much to make a huge difference. I'm just trying to blend in this touch-up paint so that everything looks pretty clean. All right, so I'm going to hit this one here. I did a little test run here, and my buddy did. I reached out to him. He said that the paint wasn't going to match 100%, but what you really want to do is protect the metal underneath so that it doesn't rust. So he said it's either that ugly scratch or you have a paint that slightly doesn't match as well, but at least it protects it. So while this is drying, I'm gonna fix all these scratches with the Meguiar swirl remover. So let's get this cleaned up first. So I'm just using a basic applicator pad, and this right here should take off some of these lighter scratches that didn't make it past the clear coat. So you pretty much rub this up until it's dry. So we're just gonna go ahead and wipe it off, see how it looks. Pretty much all the scratches. Get a little closer. You can see a few of them. Actually, is that a scratch? Not sure. I know this one for sure is. That one looks like a little slightly deeper. Maybe with a machine, I'll be able to buff that one out, but by hand, this is pretty good. It took out a lot of the scratches that you saw earlier. I'll try to do like a side by side so you can see. All right, so I just finished hitting it with 1500. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down, see how it looks. All right, so next we're gonna hit it with 2000, 2500. It feels pretty smooth already, but there's still a bump there. So I'm gonna do 2000, see how that goes. All right, finished up the 2000. All right, you know what? That's about it. That's as far as I wanna go. Now I'm gonna do the Meguiar's swirl remover to get all that haze out. Kind of blend this in a little better. Hopefully it looks a little better than that, but I mean, this is better than having exposed metal and having it rust and stuff, so I have to paint over it regardless. So if this is all I get from this process, then I'm happy with that, really. I'll take a lot of elbow grease. All right, so last step, after I finished everything off, I polished it a little better to see how it was gonna look, but I have to throw the clear coat on, so that's the clear. After that's finished drying, I'm gonna go ahead and go over it with 2500 and then clean it up, polish it again one more time with the Meguiar's, and it should be good. All right, clear coat is pretty much set. I'm gonna go ahead and do the final polish, and hopefully I never touch this again. All right, so that's pretty much it. All the scratches from the side here are gone. The big old scratches from here are pretty hidden. Again, it's not gonna look perfect. This isn't a super good paint job or anything. It's just a touch-up paint, but it feels really smooth. The thing I wish I did better was shake the paint, because this here, I barely shook it for like 30 seconds. And then this here, I shook it for like about a minute. So if anything, just make sure you really shake that paint up for about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, maybe even more if you have time, because that's probably why this color looks a little darker. I did a color down here. Let me see if you can even, I can't even see it anymore. Actually, right there, you can barely see. I didn't sand this down pretty well, but the color looks pretty good, better than this one up here. So just shake the paint a lot, as much as you can. Here's another one here that I should have done, but so far this looks a lot better, smooth, not gonna rust anymore because I cleaned it up. So if you do have any crazy scratches, that's how I did it. So if you want to do that, you can. If not, no big deal, take it to a professional. Maybe that's what I should have done, but I mean, I'm happy with it. It's not gonna rust.